You want to believe that everyone is full of love and compassion, and you want to believe that they genuinely in their heart want you to be with them in heaven. And then when you are around them, it seems like they're ashamed to know you. They don't want to have anything to do with you. They don't want other people to know that they are supportive of you and that they love you, because then it could look like they have somehow lapsed in their faith. And that just kills me inside, because the message is like, we love you, but we're also ashamed of you.
My name is Terry Rice, and I am a fourth generation Seventh-day Adventist. Identify as gay and unashamed.
So my name is Jeremy Mendenhall, and I do sushi at the cafeteria, and did my 4 years, got my degree in religious studies with a minor in psychology, and I do identify as gay.
My name is Doug Taylor. I'm Associate Director of Student Financial Services here at Walla Walla University. I've been working for the university for over 40 years. I am a gay man, identify gay. I've been quietly out on campus for a number of years. This is probably my first openly announcing it for the student body. Haven itself as a student group has met just over the last 2 or 3 weeks. We've had 4 meetings now with students. We're starting small, but we know it's going to grow. I've heard of a survey that was taken on campus that you would extrapolate that there would be between 100 and 150 students that identify as LGBTQ, and so we know there's a lot of growth potential for the group on campus.
It's a place where they can find safety and people who will not try to change them, not to pray it away, but to help people process who they are, and that may or may not include faith. It just depends on who the person is.
I have found the current administration to be extremely supportive, extremely positive. I've talked to a number of the administrators, very supportive. The administration has to be here in order for Haven to exist, and so if the administration wasn't willing to step forward and approve it, it wouldn't have happened. And so I feel really comfortable with the administration. And they've given us the go-ahead for us to be completely confidential. We don't report anything to the administration, even if we hear things that students are breaking rules. We don't talk about that. The only thing we're required to report is if they're at a danger to themselves or a danger to someone else, then we're required to report that.
So Walla Walla University Pride, for me, has given students a place to belong. It's given them a location outside of the university where they can just be themselves. There's no judgment, there's no condemnation. We don't start spouting Bible quotes, but we are a very religious group, in my mind at least. We try to harmonize the best of Adventism with the reality of the different and varying gender identities and orientations that people experience in life. Each group is trying to meet different goals and trying to reach people differently and trying to achieve different things. There is a tendency, there's a time where those two will overlap, and we're looking at ways to get our leadership, their leadership, to try to create some joint meetings, some joint endeavors. And it's slow in the works, but I definitely feel like it's something that we're going to be striving towards. Yes, so my reaction to the rejection of accepting University Pride as an official GSA or an on-campus variation of that, my reaction was, I kind of expected it. I was a little bit surprised that nobody was willing to sit down with the group and say, let's look over your structure, let's look over your governance documents, your bylaws, let's see what your mission statements are, your objectives, and let's see how we can harmonize what you want to do with what the university would like to see in such a group. There was no effort made to try to help make this a reality. It was merely just a declaration that it would never be a reality. When somebody asks you, how can you be Christian and still be part of the LGBT community, it seems to me like the mindset is, how can you engage in sinful activities and be a Christian?
I was a Bible teacher at Fresno Adventist Academy. From 2005, right out of just finished seminary, in my eyes, things were going well. And I remember hearing the principal that things were going well. I was only given 15 minutes to be notified that there is a meeting to fire me. And both the principal and the superintendent had tears in their eyes, and they were crying, and I had no idea what was going on. And they said, Terry, we think that you not only to leave this position, but to not be hired in any Adventist academy anywhere. And I was like, why? And they couldn't tell me. Oh, it was very dehumanizing when people talk to you behind your back about different things. When you're given so much support and then there's a silence and you don't know what just happened. And then you hear a pronouncement and then you realize you didn't do anything wrong. People just found out who you are.
So to make the community feel more welcome, allies could learn to be more inclusive in their speech. I've even had to learn that when you talk to somebody and you ask them like, oh, are you seeing somebody? And that's very much binary, like, do you have a girlfriend, do you have a boyfriend? But are you seeing somebody is a very open-ended question.
Be willing to ask questions, have an open mind, be willing to listen, be willing to learn, be non-judgmental, because their story is different than your story. You may have a different background than them, but really loving everyone is really where it's at. Caring for them as a person is where you really want to be.
There's a lot that you can do just to learn the different gender identities and different pronouns. If people use pronouns, always try to use back what they give you. If they say they, them, try to use those. There's one person that said that they don't like using their birth name because their birth name they feel is very gender restrictive based on the name, and they don't really like it. They've chosen a nickname, and it's taken me some time, but when you learn their nickname, little things that you can do like that, showing that you truly do care about them. There was an event scheduled for June 1st. The event was shut down the day before, and there wasn't a lot of information provided as to why it was shut down. We've had to piece together what we know from various sources, from people involved. The University Pride group, the unofficial group, was in no way involved in the formation of the event or sitting on any committee that might have approved it. It was solely the university's ASWE department, through diversity and wellness, using the recommendation from the Inclusion Committee, the same committee that planned events for Black History Month, for Women's Month in March, for Mental Health and Awareness Month in May. They planned an event for June to be more inclusive, to make the LGBTQ community felt like they were also loved and valued here at the university. The university was making strides of moving forward, of trying to be more inclusive. It gave me so much hope and encouragement to see so many great things being done at the university to try to break down these barriers and the stigmas that people place, and to open doors for the LGBTQ community to say, we love you and we are here to show you that it's not just lip service saying that we love you, but we're actually going to hold an event. We're actually going to try to educate the community and do something. So for me, it was just shock that we had made so many steps forward, and then to have this huge step backwards, it was very, it felt like a slap to the face. If I'm just gonna be blunt, because ultimately, students are attending Walla Walla University because they want the education that this university provides, the atmosphere that they can only find here or in an Adventist institution. I want to see these positive changes happen, and these changes won't happen if everybody that the church doesn't like or doesn't approve of just walk out the doors. If everybody just up and leaves, well, then they're never going to have to change. They're never going to feel a need to be more inclusive or a need to address their own doctrines and beliefs. Why I stay in the church is because the changes that I'd like to see will never take place if everyone just up and leaves.
Part of my reason to continue to be involved in the Adventist Church is to give students or whoever it is hope that there are good people out there that will affirm and love them. It's a place where I want to spread a message of hope and healing. And as long as Adventists have gay kids, and they will continue to have gay kids, this is going to be a problem if unless we start to reassess what we believe about gay people.
I don't necessarily feel that the university has shown me or LGBTQ students the love and acceptance they deserve to the extent that they deserve it. I think that that's also something that each person, each individual has to learn to look inside themselves and say, I love and I accept myself. And I see so many great steps being made by the university. It gives me hope, and I am hopeful that that these positive changes will continue. But ultimately, I can't rely on the university to give me love and acceptance. I have to love and accept myself.